What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Talk About Transformers. Today we're going to be taking a look at two figures because they are the same mold. We're going to be taking a look at Iron and Ratchet Hide from the Bumblebee movie from the Studio Series line. And I had originally shot this with both their boxes, and then I deleted it. And then I threw the boxes out before I deleted it on accident. So, since I got a copy of Iron here in the box that I'm shipping to a friend, he said that I could go ahead and use this box for the review. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the box for Iron, and Ratchet Hide has the same box. Just got Ratchet Hide's imagery on it, so we'll basically just see what we've got here. We've got Transformers Bumblebee, that's the movie he's from, Takara Tomy Generations. On the top you have Transformers Bumblebee again. On the side you have the big old red Transformers logo. There you have Iron in his box. For once we have a figure in the box when we look at it. There you've got some artwork of Iron there, just to see what the figure looks like next to the art render thingy. There you've got Studio Series 84 Iron, 8 Plus Hasbro. On the side you have Studio Series 84 again with a close-up image of Iron's face there. He is a deluxe class in multiple languages. If you understand these, you might not understand me. Alrighty, and here we have him from this side of the box. You've got Authentic Transformers, that image of Iron again, and then the Autobot symbol showing through the cutout. Here on the back of the box we have the big screen inspired blurb we always have. We have Transformers Bumblebee, his name is Iron. He is got a robot mode, and he has got a vehicle mode, and he has got a Hasbro, and he is from Cybertron Falls, and he has 22 steps, and we're just jumping all over the place today. I just worked 10 hours before I filmed this, so please bear with me. I gotta film this and a couple of other things that got deleted, so I'll be announcing which sections I accidentally erased, so you know just how incompetent I am. There we've got the backdrop that's included. I will not be taking the backdrop out and showing it off. One, because I'm not opening this box, and two, because it's the same exact image we've seen in Braun and RC's review. There you have his little bio, 1 sentence, 2 lines. If I'm not mistaken, Ratchet Hide had a little bit of extra. There you've got the warning and the letters and all of that. There's your barcode. I got this at a Target, same as my original one, so you can scan the barcode if you want to see if you can find it on the website at your store. There you've got the upside down stuff on the bottom of the box. Now it's right side up, and that is it for the box for Iron. And again, Ratchet Hide's box is the same exact thing, but with images of Ratchet Hide replacing Iron. And then after this part is stuff that I still have, so we'll just go ahead and fade on into that, shall we? Alright, and how many of you are tired of me calling them the wrong name yet? Because I'm not sure if I can keep it up. Here we have Ratchet in his space van vehicle mode. He's got nice blue windows here. This is a really nice transparent blue with painted white. You can see the difference here on camera, and like most paints, it's easier to pick it up on the camera. It doesn't help that it's touching the real color, but it's not bad. White's pretty easy to do, especially with all the different whites on here and things like that. You know, and it just is a section of the vehicle. You've got red here down at the bottom with some gunmetal paint there for the grill work, with a little gunmetal kind of bumper deal going on. You've got the gray wheels with the white paint for the sides there. This little red stripe that is just for the vehicle. It does not show up in the robot mode. You've got red stripes here on these back sections, which will show up in robot mode. And then there's a lot of detail in here that is not picked out, so it kind of gets washed out in the white. Then here on the back, there's a lot of detail on the back, like rear lights and things like that. None of it's picked out again, so kind of washed out in the white. This side's the same. We'll go ahead and take this off and put it down real quick. We'll go ahead and take Ironhide's gun and put it away too. And here he is from the top. You've got that red striping. You can see the blue window, and then you've got some gray sections here of the plastic that is gray. And here it is from the bottom. You have visible head syndrome, visible forearm syndrome, and then you've got some details up in there. There's a little molded thing right there that serves no purpose other than that it's molded, because you're not going to see that in robot mode, so that's pretty neat. And that is it for Ratchet. We'll take a look at Ironhide, and he's pretty much the same thing, but he's got red painted on, which is another pretty easy color to do, and I think it actually looks better than the white, to be perfectly honest. Even on camera, I would be hesitant to say that I can see the paint very, very easily. Down here you've got silver with that gunmetal in the vents and the bumper, plus this little red stripe there. On the side, the rims are red. You've got a yellow stripe here instead of the red one that we saw on Ratchet. And then you've got no color on the gray shoulders at all, because that's what they're going to be, and they are very gray. Here he is from the back, same details, same lack of paint. And then from the other side, from the top, it looks pretty much the same, only without that red there. You know, it's all gray back here, and then you've got black instead of gray here, and there's gray here, because the sprue for this is what this is for. So Ratchet was mostly white, and there wasn't so much color breakup up here. And since it's vehicle mode, it looks pretty haphazard. And so not all color breakup is good. It's not a problem though, it's the top of the car, and it's like a space van, so I'm not really going to have it in this mode much unless I'm just kind of flipping it back and forth. Here it is from the bottom. Again, visible head, visible forearms, random spark detail, and that's about it. So we'll go ahead and bring one of the guns back in. And here's Ironhide's gun. We know because the gun matches where it mounts, so black with black. There you've got his gun. The detail on it's pretty good. And it's got no real hollowness until you look at the bottom, but I'd rather it be on the bottom than the sides. And then, excuse me. And then you've got this tab on the side for storage and robot mode, but for vehicle mode you're just going to take the port and you're going to plug it in to the top of the car. Same thing on Ratchet's gun, but gray. So we'll plug it in, and we're going to come up to the first issue between the two. And I don't know if it plagues both molds, because it didn't happen on my Ratchet, but it did happen on my Ironhide. The Ironhide's gun connection isn't as solid. It is pretty loose in there. It just kind of wiggles real easy. Then Ratchet's, instead of wiggling in the turret, it's turning the vehicle, and it's hanging on pretty good there. So the gun handle, just this handle specifically, because the tab on the side holds in good in robot mode, but that handle is a little loose. It's nothing that I don't think I can fix, but I wanted to show you the difference there in vehicle mode. And then we'll go ahead and take a look at some comparisons, but real quick, they can both do rolling in tandem. There we go. And so we'll just kind of put these guys next to each other over here and get to some size comparisons, alt mode style. Alright, and here we are in part 2 of the things I accidentally deleted, the size comparisons. Here you have him with the Core Class Kingdom Starscream figure. Here they are with the upscaled Legends Class New Age knockoff Starscream. I want to say I said he last time. I meant they. There's two of them. Here they are with another deluxe sized vehicle. There they are with skids. You know, kind of the same sort of general shape and size a little bit. I believe in the original footage I talked about how even though they're kind of the same size now, the Ironhide and Ratchet robots are bigger and have less junk. They look more purposeful. I'm probably not going to do that again, just because I'm not going to transform skids this time. But know that, yeah, I mean, the vehicles are kind of compact and small, but the robots are actually decent sized deluxes. Here for a Voyager review for vehicle mode, we've got the Legacy Prime Universe Bulkhead for your Voyager class. And last but not least, as is standard for the channel at this point, we've got our Leader Class Comparison Studio Series 86 Grimlock Leader Class Comparison. Alright, and we'll get down to the transformation on Ratchet. Ironhide's transformation is the exact same for the most part. There's one thing I want to go over in specific, and it's for Ratchet. So we're going to show off the transformation with him. We're going to go ahead and take the gun off. I'll show you where that would plug in as I transform. Technically, if you want to, you can open the flaps this attached to in robot mode and plug it into them now, and then you could keep the gun on the whole time, but I will not be doing that today. Starting off transformation, we'll go ahead and unplug these flaps from the side. You have got this little notch section that goes around that little tab there, and then this tab here will go into the molding of the mushroom peg for the thigh rotation, and then you've got this little peg here where the gun would peg in for robot mode. And if you want it in robot orientation where it looks good, plug it in this way and then continue the transformation. But I don't want to get in my way, so we're going to take it off. After that, we're going to come under here and unplug the forearms from this section. You've got a tab here and a slot there that those plug into. So we're going to unplug them and straighten them out to the bottom, and then we'll go ahead and pull this whole section away. There are two pegs here and little slots, if I can get them, these slot sections here that those plug into. So we rotated those out. We're going to take these whole side sections and we're going to click them out. They're on little soupy ratchet type deals, ratchets on Ratchet, and we're going to click them out to the side. We'll go ahead and flip the hands out. There's a little nub in there to help you get it started, and they will click into place. It's not super audible, I don't know if it's going to come across, but click into place. We'll rotate this whole section around again on a soupy joint until it is facing this direction, and then we'll go ahead and leave this alone for now. We'll come down to the front of the vehicle and we will push against these red painted sections here to dislodge the front like that. We're going to fold this flap up here in the back, fold that up, and then this is all going to come up, and I'm going to try and explain this as efficiently as I can. This is going to come resting here, and then this whole section, you've got a hinge here and a hinge here, is going to kind of rotate up, and we'll swing around, and then this section at the top is going to kind of rest in there, and the rest of this is going to smush down in and rest in this position here. And then the reason I wanted Ratchet specifically is because there's a cutout here on both figures. It's the same, but they're designed to go around Ratchet's eyebrow spikes, so you want to make sure those get around the eyebrow spikes when you're going to transform them. You can either wait until we fold the torso into place so you can get it past his head now. We're going to take this section with the legs and rotate it 180 degrees back here, and then we'll rotate his legs out at the knees so they are flat. Rotate the legs at the hips so they are out. Then rotate the thigh swivel until the legs line up, molding correctly, 180 degree spin. Again, fold it, and then we'll take this section here with the gray and fold it out and have his feet there. Inside the leg, these wheel sections works better on Ironhide, but they kind of are supposed to like thoop into place for vehicle mode and then thoop into place for robot mode. This wheel works pretty good where it'll stay. The notch right here, it's all white, it's hard to see. The notch right here that we plugged that side panel into in the first step is going to sit just behind this screw hole. That's how you know you've got it in the right spot. This one's a little more loose, but it'll sit there. And then there you have his legs all done. We'll go ahead and take all of this and fold it down at this hinge right here. And there is a tab here that's going to go into that slot right there to secure the torso into place. So we'll give that a squeeze, and then we know we have it secured. You can push this flap past his head now and it'll just rest down there. And then taking these, we'll fold them against the side of the body, and there's going to be a little tab here that'll go into this little post there. So we'll plug that in, and we'll plug it in on this side. And there you have Ratchet in his robot mode. We'll go ahead and show him off next to Ironhide real quick, because he is a pretty decent sized deluxe class robot, and the vehicle just looks comically small next to it. Like, it looks like it just takes up the space of his legs almost. So I just think it's funny. It doesn't look like it can squeeze down into that vehicle almost, but they made it so that it can, and that just amuses me. So we're gonna go ahead and get Ratchet off to the side here for a second, and we'll take and transform Ironhide real quick, and then we'll go ahead and show them off in robot mode. Alright, real quick before we get into the articulation and whatnot, I just finishing up his transformation, I wanted to show you that he doesn't have the horns, so his head doesn't really have to be super straight for this flap to go past. You can have it turned and stuff and it'll go past, so it's less selective, and that's why I wanted to show Ratchet for the transformation, even though some of the stuff might have been easier to see with the red versus the white plastic. So there you go for that difference. And there you have them both as fully completed robots. We'll go ahead and take a look at some details, which means we are going to zoom in here. Take a look. Let me go ahead and angle this up real quick. There we go. Here is Ratchet's head sculpt. As you can see, he does have a silver face with blue eyes that are light piped with the red paint on the crest. Ironhide's face is actually the same face, which is not how it was on the box art. At least it didn't look like it to me. He does have a spot molded there for an Autobot symbol, but no actual Autobot symbol on it. And he just gets the silver face paint with the light piped eye treatment. No red paint or otherwise for his head. Ratchet's chest is the vehicle mode front, so we've got all the same stuff. We've got the Autobot symbol with the blue plastic, white paint, red paint, and gunmetal paint. You've got the red on the shoulders from the back of the vehicle there. His forearms have a nice gray paint on them to break those up, which I do appreciate. Coming down here to the waist, once you hit the waist, other than these hip joints in here, almost everything is gray until you get to the shins, where you've got a little, or not gray, almost everything is white. Until you get down here, you've got the wheels, the gray paint, the red paint on there, faux wheels molded and painted a little bit on the side, and then his feet remain unpainted coming up the side. Nothing really fun or new. And then the back is really nicely molded, really well done, with the robot stuff on the back of vehicle panels. Gives you that unique toys feel almost. And then he looks really good. And then he has really hollow shins. They're very solid though. They could have taken some of this and tried to fold this in to cover it here if they really wanted to, but budgets and things of that nature and whatnot. And it's probably one of the reasons the vehicle can compact so well, because the vehicles are very tiny compared to these robots, I feel. I might be crazy, but that's just the way it is for me. We'll go ahead and take a look at Ironhide's paint on the front. As with Ratchet, is the same as the vehicle, so you've got the red. There's a little silver box here around the Autobot symbol. Then you've got the silver with the gunmetal with the red stripe. Ironhide having a gray section and a red section for the sprue, instead of Ratchet being mostly white, gives him a little bit of a color break advantage. It's a little jarring, but it's not all red and not all white like Ratchet's is, so it made the top of the vehicle a little jumbly, but I think it helps break some stuff up here. In robot mode, sadly, he gets no paint on the front of his thighs at all. No paint, just the black on the side for the faux wheels. The inside has the real wheels, and then you've got this gray here, probably because it's on this sprue. And then he gets a little bit of paint on his feet though. You got some gunmetal here, and these 3 stripes in that, so that's pretty cool. And no paint on the shin, but you get some on the feet. So we just had a little bit of something to break this up. I think this breaks the side of the feet up real good. He does have paint on the forearms, but they are in different spaces, and instead of being gray, they are gunmetal. So you've got the gunmetal here to cover up the red on that joint that goes in with the black on Ratchet. I didn't pay attention, but we'll look at him for articulation and we'll see if that is painted or molded. And then on the back it's the same, really well molded but not really well painted, and hollow shins. So that's the difference there. Also, you've got a little bit of yellow from that panel poking out there on him. And then Ratchet, the painted section is completely covered. So, and his forearm is painted in that gunmetal. I didn't really notice though, because there is plastic that kind of looks similar in color when you're not paying too much attention, and it kind of made me not even realize there was paint there. That's my bad. For articulation, they each have a ball joint at the head that can go full 360. You can look up a little, down a little, tilt a little. Well, actually, that's a really good amount of tilt. Retract it, tilts a really good amount. You've got outward movement on the shoulder, and then you've got the shoulder joint itself. They are universals as opposed to ball joints, and they can pretty much go all the way around. It's gonna catch here on this hinge, but if you want to squeeze it past it, go for it. I'm not gonna rotate the arm that much, so I'm not gonna have to do that. Above that joint there, you have the rotation at the bicep. You have a 90-degree bend at the elbow, and other than the transformation, you get no wrist articulation on these guys. Oh, let me zoom back out. You have a 360 waist, which surprisingly is not part. Well, I retracted. Okay, yeah, it will 360. It's just kind of like the shoulder where you got to kind of slide some stuff past some stuff. It's not used in the transformation. All the swivels for moving and rotating things in transformation are not the waist. I keep accidentally rotating the waist, and then I'm like, why aren't the legs going together? You've got hips as universals as well, no ball joints, so they can go back this far, forward this far, and they can go out all the way. You've got thigh swivel that rotates 360 for the transformation. You've got a nice deep knee bend that gets you, when they're rotated this way, it gets you a little over 90 maybe. And then for the transformation, you can tilt the toes back a little, forward a little, and then you've got a slight ankle tilt there. And it doesn't seem to matter what angle that's at, it's still just going to be slight for you. Ratchet is all fixed up, but let's go ahead and show you some issues with the mold, because Ironhide I have not fixed yet. All the articulation is the same, but this was never an issue on Ratchet. So again, your mileage may vary, but this waist is much more loose than Ratchet's waist is, and these hips are awful. Let's go ahead and give them a shake. These hips are awful. Ratchets were the same exact way. They aren't anymore. Went in there for a quick fix tutorial. I went in and took the screw out and took his waist apart, and then I dipped the inside of this peg that's inside this waist component, the inside of this black piece here, dipped that for polish, let it dry for about a day and a half or so, put it back together, gave it a shake, and with Ratchet I was happy with it on the first coating. If it's still flippity floppity, go ahead and take it back apart, give it another coat, let it dry again, and rinse and repeat until it's as stiff as you want it to be. But yeah, my friend who found this figure for me actually, and then I went up and bought it after he found it. His Ironhide doesn't have loose hips according to him. I don't know if we have same or different degrees of hip looseness, but these hips are really loose for me, and I'm going to fix them some point after this review is live. That's one of the reasons why I was happy that I could do this comparison review, because I had fixed Ratchet already. I got tired of it, and now I can show off the floppy flops for Ironhide there. Let's get a full look at them there. Alright, accessory wise, we did show off the guns and the way those hook. Like I mentioned, one moment please, I'm going to go ahead and pause this real quick. Alright, and we're unpaused. The peg here I showed during the transformation, if you have it pegged in where the gun barrel was facing towards the bottom of the vehicle, it hangs off like this, which looks really weird. So if you plug it in this way, then the gun is more center slung on the back. Usually when I have guns on the back, I have the barrel slung down, and so this one's slung up, and that looks weird to me, but that's me, myself, and I. Can't tell if my lights are dying or not. I might need to charge them after this. I did just shoot 3 reviews consecutively, so they might be dying a little bit. I'm not blinding myself by looking at them, so. But I digress. Back to the review. So there you can have his gun like that, or as always, you can take the gun off and he can hold the gun, and Ratchet holds his gun nice and secure. You can wiggle it out and stuff, but it's not just gonna flop around or anything when he's holding it. Poor old Ironhide has all the problems. Put the gun in his hand and it is very, very loose. It just turns. We'll go ahead and do that shaking of the wrist with Ratchet. Oh, yep, I bumped it into the torso. Let's go ahead and do that again. So we're just gonna shake him. The gun's still pointed at you. Ironhide will do the same thing, the same way. Okay, complete semi-retracted, but in vehicle mode it is loose, and it is looser than Ratchet's in his hand. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can't dip the handle of that into some polish and let it dry when I fix his hips and his waist, and then we'll go ahead and see if that helps. I love how when I'm talking about one, the other one's just corpse. But there you have them. We'll go ahead and do some size comparisons and then wrap this up for you guys. Alrighty, getting started off with size comparisons part 2, or if you will, part 3 of what I managed to delete. Here we have the Legacy Core Class Skywarp figure, which is my favorite Seeker flavor. Here they are with the slightly oversized KO New Age Seeker mold for your slightly oversized Legend scale. This is the Skywarp flavoring. For another Deluxe class scale comparison, here you have them with the Voyager class Deluxe sized Hot Rod from Studio Series 86. For your Voyager sized Voyager scale Voyager figure, we have Kingdom Cyclonus. And last but not least, here for your liter size comparison, we have the Studio Series 86 liter class Slag, and he is a pretty big liter. And that's it for size comparisons, but not it for things that I deleted. Alrighty, this is the last thing I deleted, and that is the overall thoughts. Starting off with the negatives, the looseness out of the box, aka Ratchet's hips and Ironhide's hips, waist, and gun handle. I did not care that I had to fix them. I did not like it. I thought maybe Ironhide would actually, have some of those problems fixed, because, they were like, oh, the ratchets were loose, let's fix Ironhide. No, he's just worse. But Ratchet's fixed now. At this point, since I'm re-filming everything, Ironhide's fixed now. I don't even remember if that's gonna be in the video, I'm pretty sure I showed off Ironhide's looseness. Hopefully, if it didn't end up getting deleted. But the back of the shins are hollow. I can forgive that. I can let that slide. And I think that they could use some more paint in places. Each one has some areas where both of them could use the paint, and then each one has some areas where they got paint, but could use some paint that the other one got instead. And I think that's about it. For positives, the vehicles are wonky, but they work. The transformation is really, really fun. The robot modes look good. There's great posability. And that's, I mean, they each come with a gun that stores on the roof of the car. It makes sense in the war concept of them being in war. They're not hiding, so they can have guns on their cars, and then it stores on their back. And it stores at a nice angle and whatnot. And I think that's about it for that. I definitely would recommend the mold itself. All you have to figure out is if you want one flavor or the other or both. And that's pretty much it. So I will see you guys in my next episode, where hopefully I don't delete half my footage. And in the meantime, if you liked the review, go ahead and give it a like. If your copy had looseness, go ahead and comment it. I want to see how widespread the issue was. Go ahead and check out things in my description. I got playlists and social media stuff and all this and that and the things there. And with that out of the way, we'll go ahead and get off here, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. What's going on, guys? I know I just signed off and all that, but I did want to say something here at the end of the video. Did you guys know that this mold is actually a triple changer? You have this vehicle mode, the robot mode of course, and you have this flight mode from the side here and stuff. It kind of looks like a pelican from Halo, if you're a fan of the Halo series. Now, my brother Dustin came up with this idea originally. So he got Ratchet recently, and he sent me a picture, and it looked approximately like this. The arms might not be quite right, but he said, "Look, Ratchet can fly." And I said, "Yeah, but not with those wings, because there's big old holes in them." So I thought about it, and I did it with Ironhide because I had him out at the time, and I found a way to do the arms so they're less gappy. And so I'm going to show you how to do this, and then you can use it too if you want. You don't have to do the wings my way. You can do them the original way my brother made it. Whatever you want to do. We'll go ahead and open the side panels like we're going to robot mode. Cooperate. We'll go ahead and pull the arms down like we're going to robot mode, and fold all of this out on that hinge, and then fold these up. They are on kind of those stoopy point type rotations. We'll go ahead and turn his head around just so its face isn't out. His head's still going to be there, but now his face isn't out. We can flatten these panels to form wings. Go ahead and take the forearm and rotate it 180 degrees. For his, I also rotated it 180 degrees when I made that. And then for his, you'd fold out the hand and rest the arms like this. For mine, just keep folding the arm in until it fills in that space right there. And we'll go ahead and do that on the other side. We'll fold it in. You don't fold the hands out, making my configuration for it. But if you were doing my brother's, you'd fold the hands out. And then I can't remember if he left the tires alone or not, but I actually like the way it looks when the tires are folded up to the side. So I fold the tires up. And then you can take this and you can have it facing forward if you want. You could turn it around and have it facing backwards, which is the look I kind of like the look of it facing backwards. I don't know why. But yeah, so you can do a flight mode with your Studio Series 86 Iron Ratchet mold. And you've got two options when configuring the wings. So there they are, side by side. You can if you like this idea, you can do it whichever way you want. Remember that my brother showed this to me, and I just kind of worked with him to kind of make it my own little version, because I didn't like the gaps really bothered my OCPD. But that's it. And then, so this is like taking place of an end card, and I was gonna like segue into doing another triple changer, but I don't have any more. I already reviewed Springer, and the only other triple changes I have are like for combiners. I have, you know, 7/8 of Studio Series Revenge of the Fallen Devastator, and I've got Dragstrip, who I've already reviewed, so I don't have any more triple changes.